kind of has some technical difficulties. But going back to the state of our people, the wicked state of our people, we're going to keep on continuing. This is Romans. I'm gonna start at verse 21. It says, because that when they knew the power, they glorified him not as the power, neither were they thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. And that's exactly what the 2/3 of our people have come into, man. Their foolish heart was darkened. They're vain in their imaginations, man. The things that they imagine in their mind, their thoughts are all in vanity. They're all too useless. What did we bring out in the previous scripture, man? That it profits nothing, man. The vanity of this world, the following after of Egypt, it profits nothing, man. And I'm gonna keep on going. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. So just Jake thinks that he got all this knowledge, man. He thinks, they go into this Egyptian philosophy and this nation of Islam and these 5%ers and so on and so forth, man. He's trying to make himself wise, but little does he know, and his the other, black nationalism, brown nationalism, whatever you want to call it, man. But little does he know that the true knowledge is in this word. The true knowledge, wisdom, understanding is in the Holy Scriptures. And this is not this Holy Scripture was not written by the white man. These Holy Scriptures were written by the prophets of the Lord, which were so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. This is not a white man's book. This book condemns the so-called white man. Professing themselves to be, I'm read that back, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the uncorruptible power into an image made like the corruptible man and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. So basically that's talking about idolatry, man. And you can see that everywhere. You can see that within Jake, man. He likes to, worship skulls and so-called Virgin Mary he's got all these statues of Caesar Borgia in his fucking house, especially you so-called Latin tribes, man. And the Native Americans, what did they do? They started worshiping the spirit animals and things like that, man. So this describes how our people became lost. They were given unto uncorruptible. They were given to a reprobate mind. Salakia. I'm gonna read verse 24. Wherefore Yahawah also gave them up to uncleanness, to the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. That's talking about faggotry and all your fornication and all wickedness of sin, man. That was taught to you by the so-called white man. Because he's a true faggot of the earth, man. He's a true homosexual of the earth, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and that's what those so-called white men do. And you fucking Jakes, you buy it up. You bow down to that white Jesus, man. You bow down to those commercials where they show little babies as angels, which is far from the truth. Saying the truth, Yahweh to lie, worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Verse 26. For this cause Yahweh gave them up into vile affections, man. So vile, perverse affections, wicked thoughts. For even the woman did change the natural use in that which was against nature. Likewise also the man, leaving the natural use of the woman, burning their lust one toward another. Men working that which unseemly, receiving themselves the recompense of their error, which was meat. That's talking about the faggotry and the homosexuality of you Jakes out there, man. Because there's a lot of fucking homosexuals, so-called fucking Jakes, man. They wicked, man. They're wicked in that shit. And even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, which have no profit, like we were reading in the previous verse, man. That wickedness, it's not going to make you prosper in that day. All that wickedness, all that vanity is going to lead to destruction. Verse 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, and whisper. Just an overall wicked fucking attitude, man. Backbiters, haters of Yahweh, despiteful, proud boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. Hey, man, that's Jake to a T. That's Jake to a T. Without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of Yahweh, so you in your spirit, you Jakes know in your spirit that there's a punishment for the things that you do. But the thing about you Jakes is what you do is that, you do bullshit and you feel bad about it later. You do wickedness and you feel bad about it later. Then later on you're like, oh man, like fuck. But when you're doing those things, man, you just fucking you're going all out, man. That's why you got so much Jakes in fucking prison, because the thing about it is that you Jakes, man, you don't like to you don't see the consequences for your actions. That's why, because you lack understanding according to the scriptures. Who knowing the judgment of Yahweh, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So that's, hey, birds of a flare flock together. That's why you see fucking idiots with fucking idiots. That's why you see faggots with faggots. That's why you see adultery with adulterers, man. Whatever crowd that is. And the scripture says to surround yourself with wise men. And then I think, and then you know and going off subject a little bit, and that art of war, that Sun Tzu is there's a quote in there. I think it says, a good leader, surrounds himself with men of wise counsel, so something to that effect. But the wickedness of our people is great, man. And that's why the Most High has destroyed 2/3 of our people. And with that, I'm going to back that up with Psalms 1 and 28. I think it is. No, it's not Psalms 1 and 28. So lock it, that ain't it. Isaiah 65 and 2. Isaiah 65 and 2. And it says, I spread out my hands all day unto a rebellious people. That's what the Lord's done, man, through His word, to the men out there in the highways and hedges, and the men making these videos, which walk us in a way that was not good after their own thoughts, so after their own wicked and evil will, their own wicked and evil way. A people that provokes me to anger continue to my face. Hey, so the Most High is angry, man, and when the Most High gets angry, he demands justice. He demands judgment. You know. I'm going to keep on going. That people that provokes me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifice in the gardens, that burns up incense upon altars of brick, which remain among the graves and lodge in the monuments, which eat swine's flesh, and the broth and abominable things is in their vessels, man. Hey, a lot of you, Jake, you can't give up that bacon, man. You can't give up that pork. You can't give up them pork ribs. You're gonna see it in a Jake household, man. In a 2/3 household, you're gonna see that fucking pork. They eat, because that's still today. They eat that swine's flesh. Which say, stand by thyself, come near to me, for I am holier than thou. These are smoke in my nose, a fire that burneth all day. But yet you confess to be blessed by the Lord, and you confess to love the Most High. And what the scripture said, that you're a bother to Him. You're a smoke in His nose. Go down to verse 6. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep Slakia. Behold, it's written before me, I will not keep silent, recompense evil, even recompense into your Slakia. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silence. So the Most High is cannot keep silence. How is His voice being heard? It's being heard through the men that He set out to preach His word, man. So the Lord is not being silenced. The word of the Lord goes out day and night, 24/7, man. It doesn't stop. Brothers all over the world is making videos, man. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silence, but will recompense. That's revenge. Even recompense into your bosom, right up in your face, man, right up in your grill. Right to right in front of you. Your iniquity and the iniquities of your father together, says the Most High, which have burned incense upon the mountains and blasphemed me upon the hills. Therefore will I measure their former work into their bosom. Thus says the Most High, as the new wine is found in the cluster, one say, destroy it not, for blessing is in it, so will I do for my servant's sake, that I might not destroy them all. So the Lord's going to bring a remnant of men out of that destruction, man, out of that judgment. He's going to seal the men that sigh and cry in their foreheads, that spiritual mark. And Most High willing, we're hoping to be those men. With that I want to get Zechariah 13 and 9. Zechariah 13 and 9, and it says, and I will bring the third part through the fire. We find them as silver is fine, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call up on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, is my people. They shall say, the Lord is my power. It's talking about those remnant of men that were set aside, man, to be saved from this destruction. And then I'm gonna get Jeremiah 5 and 28, going back to the wickedness of our people, man. Jeremiah 5 and 28, and it says, they are waxing fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. Going back to the previous scripture we had mentioned, Jake's wises do evil, man. They're wise to do evil. They overpass the deeds of the wicked. They're more wicked than Esau himself. Because why? Because Jake excels in everything that he does. He has to outshine everybody, man. He has to be the best in everything that he do. That's just his spirit. And even in wickedness, he overpasses the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the father, yet they prosper. The cause of the fatherless, man. How many fatherless children are out there in the so-called ghettos and the barrios of America, of so-called America, man. A Jake is a fatherless people, and that's twofold. The father doesn't stay at home. The father, just you got children growing up without fathers, and you're fatherless because the Most High is not with you. Your heavenly Father is not with you. Yet they prosper in the right of the needy. Do they not judge? Shall I not visit for these things, says the Most High? That shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? Hey, that's how bad the Lord is, man. That's how angry He is. He wants vengeance. He wants vengeance on a rebellious and idolatrous nation. A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, the priests bear rule by their means. My people love to have it so. So hey, that's going back to that scripture saying they prophesy to us smooth things, man. You love to hear bullshit. You love to hear things that sound good to you. And that's just wickedness right there, man. Even though the scriptures say the truth will set you free, but you don't care about the truth. You rather hear the lie that makes you feel good. You rather feel good and be enslaved in your mind and your spirit than to have a truth that will set you free. The prophets prophesy falling, the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so. And what will you do in the end thereof? So what are you gonna do when that day comes, basically? What are you gonna do in the end of all this? After you believed all the bullshit that was fed unto you and all the bullshit that you went after, how's that gonna profit you in the end? The answer is that it isn't. What are you gonna do in the end? Basically, that's the open question, saying that ain't gonna profit you in that day. That I'm gonna get Jeremiah 16:12. This is Jeremiah 16:12. It says, "Ye have done worse than your fathers. Behold, you walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me." Hey, that's cold right there, man. You have done worse than your fathers. Hey, it seems that way too, because one generation is more wicked and evil than the next. You have an example like you have these so-called fucking OGs where they say, "Oh yeah, back in the day we used to throw fists." And then from fists it went to what? Drive-by shootings. For drive-by shooting, it went to straight out fucking murder. You know. Counting from the ancient days until now, though, the wickedness of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans has just increased, man. Read that back, therefore I cast you out of this land, into land that ye know not, neither ye know neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. So if we're not showing favor in this land, we're the bottom of the barrel. We're not on top, man. We're the borrowers. We're not the lenders. Our money is low. Our health is fucked up. Our mentality and spirits are messed up, man. We're not given no favor from the Lord in this place, man. Why? Because we were under heavy captivity. We were under heavy bondage, man. And that's the punishment that the Lord put upon us for being a stiff-necked and rebellious people. With that, I'm gonna get Romans 3 and 11. This is Slovakia. This is Romans 3 and 11. And it says, there is none that understandeth, there is none that seeketh after Yahawah. They are all gone out of the way. They are together become unprofitable. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Their throat is an open sepulchre. The throat is like a grave, man. With their tongues they have used deceit, the poison of acid on their lips, whose mouths is full of cursing and bitterness. They are swift to shed blood. Hey, that's our people, man. That's our people. They're swift to kill each other over money, over a pair of Jordans, over a gold chain. Destruction and misery are in their ways. Hey, that describes Jake's life, man. He lives a self-destructive life. Through the things that Jake does. Through drugs and alcohol and so on and so forth, man. And the food that he eats, and the mentality and the way they live their life, man. Destruction and misery. This is a miserable life up here in America, man. Destruction and misery are in their ways, and the way of peace they have not known. Hey, we don't know what peace is, man. We never know what peace is. Not in for you 2/3. The only peace we have are in the scriptures, man. The only one that know peace is when brothers, are amongst each other and we're preaching His word. That's peaceful, man. That's a rest unto our souls. That takes off the vexation of being in this world when we're out there doing the work. Because other than that, we're vexed in the spirit mostly at all times, man. Brothers have vexed spirit just being here. Just being here, walking around and seeing the wickedness of this place. Seeing this fucking white man in fucking charge, man. That's vexing to our spirit. And the way of peace they have not known. You 2/3, man, you have not known the way of peace. You don't know what peace is, man. You live a dysfunctional, miserable, self-destructive fucking lifestyle, man. There is no fear of Yahawah before their eyes. Knowing that you're going all through these things, man, you don't even fear the Most High, man. You don't even search, you don't even ponder and wonder to yourself like why are things the way this is. You accept that, man. You don't fear the Lord because you continue to do wickedness. Now we know that what things soever the law says them who are under the law, that every mouth be stopped and all the world become guilty before Yahawah, man. So you 2/3, man. Hey, that describes you to a T. The wickedness of our people, man. It's great, and that's why the scriptures say that the majority of you so-called blacks until Native Americans must be destroyed, man. That's why. Why? Because of your wickedness. Why is the so-called white man going to be destroyed? Because of his wickedness. Why are these other nations going to be killed off? Because of the wickedness, man. Because of their wickedness. The Lord's gonna come back and purge His fucking place, man. He's gonna purge it with fire. And with that, I want to get Titus 1:16. Titus 1:16. It says, they profess they know Yahawah, but in works they deny Him, being abominable, disobedient unto every good work, reprobate. And that's our people right there, man. And that's our people. I'm gonna jump to verse 15. It says, unto the pure all things are pure. And the pure are the men that do this work. And why are those being pure? Not because of anything they done, because they're sanctified and they're cleansed through this word. That's why the scriptures say in the book of Psalms, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way by taking heed unto thy word, but roughly paraphrasing. But to the them that are defiled and believing is nothing pure. Even the mind is conscious is defiled. Like I said, a defiled, self-destructive, miserable fucking lifestyle is what you Jakes live out there. And I'm going to go to Isaiah 5:25. It says, therefore the anger of the Most High kindled against His people, and He has stretched forth His hand against them, and has smitten them. And all the hills did tremble, and the carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this His anger is not turned away, but His hand is stretched out still. And that's that hope, man. That's that hope. After all of this, the Lord is still stretching out His hand for those men that can receive this word. And He will lift up an ensign to the nations from far, and He will hiss unto them from the end of the earth. And behold, they shall come with speed swiftly. None shall be weary nor stumble. Among them none shall be slumber nor sleep. Neither shall the girdle of the loins be loosed, nor the latchet of the shoes be broken. Whose arrows are sharp and all the bows bent. The horses' hoofs shall be counted like flint, and the wheels like a whirlwind. And the roaring shall be like a lion, and they shall roar like young lions. They shall roar and lay hold of prey, and shall carry it away safe, and none shall deliver it. And that day they shall roar against them like the roaring of the sea. When unto the land, behold, darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened in the heavens thereof. So basically, basically the Lord has his hand stretched out still, man, and he got his insight, he got his word, being put out there, to cast judgment on you 2/3, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. To prophesy against his place and to seal the elect, man. To bid those to the marriage. That being said, man, I know it went on a little bit long, but the Most High willing, I hope it was edifying. That being said, I want to say Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHAWAHSHI, Barakatah YAHAWAH, Barakatah YAHAWAHSHI, Barakatah YAHAWAH, Barakatah YAHAWAHSHI. Shalom.